Antonette Flores. She is the coordinator of the Child Rights Network, and this is the largest alliance of organizations and agencies pushing for rights legislation in the Philippines. And her journey as a child rights advocate started while majoring in political science from the University of the Philippines in Manila. And as a volunteer of the Pahinugod Tutorial Services program for street children. She worked as a legislative staff in the House of Representatives right after graduation and worked for 4 years with Verlani Foundation, a child caring institution and a member of the Child Rights Network. Being in the development sector inspired her to pursue further studies and is now finishing her master's degree in community development in the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Yes, thank you and welcome, Antoinette.
Thank you very much, Aliana, for that introduction, and greetings to everyone. Like what Aliana said, I am Tony and I work for the Child Rights Network, and our main mission is to push for children's rights in Philippine laws. So I'm here to present the state of girls in the Philippines amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Next slide. So a study revealed that in the 72.5% of cases where gender of the unidentified victim was known, 68.4% of which are female children, 31.1% are male children, and 4.1% of sexually abusive and exploitative materials involve both female and male children. This is the global data on online sexual abuse and exploitation. And we could see from this global perspective how girls are disproportionately affected by this issue, clearly of gender-based violence. This was from the data of ACPAT and Interpol. Now, in the Philippines, this is very much true as well. Next slide. In fact, 8 in 10 victims rescued from OSAEC, or what we call online sexual abuse and exploitation of children, are minors, with some as young as 2 months old. We actually witnessed this firsthand in the news. A 2-month-old baby was a victim of rape, of online sexual abuse for the purposes of producing materials. And this happened in Cebu, south of Philippines. Moreover, most of the victims they rescue are 12 years old or younger. In 2019, and this is where we see how the COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated this silent and heinous crime. In the whole year of 2019, there were 418,422 cyber tips reported. But in 2020, as early as July, we already incurred 400,000 reports, according to the Interagency Council Against Trafficking. And this was only 3 months inside the lockdown, 3 months after the lockdown was established. Next. But we are here today to also talk about how these stories are very much true. As our title suggests, coming to statistics. And unfortunately, organizations saw it firsthand, because in our page, you could actually send your questions, inquiries, or even concerns about children's rights. And so one day, in the middle of a Senate hearing we were attending, a girl messaged us on our Facebook page about a case that was happening right there and then to her. So she was telling us how we could help her, because this guy was harassing her, kept sending her messages that he would expose her, post her naked images on social media if she doesn't go to the bathroom and show her naked body in a video call. And this went on the whole day. The girl actually gave her account details to me, and I logged in and I saw how this guy kept on harassing him, even calling her multiple times, sending her curse words, sending her threats like that. In this screenshot, you could see but it's just saying that I want to do, don't make me wait, or else I would post your naked photos on social media and give access to this certain group to that video. So there's this what you call red rooms on Facebook, wherein online sexual abuse and exploitation of children are happening publicly. And on that day, the whole day, we tried to connect with Facebook Philippines and to law enforcement agencies girl. And so a police officer was assigned to her to talk to her on what to do. And thankfully, Facebook also responded very fast and took down the accounts, the multiple accounts of this abuser, and took down several what we call red rooms on Facebook. But up to now, many cases like this are happening in the Philippines and around the world. It is real. The stories behind them are happening both online and offline. Some people think that it's not harmful because it's just online, but the reality is an actual rape or an actual abuse is happening offline, being captured and transmitted online. And for CRN, we believe that one story is too many.
Okay, my apologies.
Next.
Tony, for the interest of time,
No
I would
worries.
like to spare more time for the collaborative session. So if you could wrap up in 1 minute, just a reminder.
Thank you. And OSAIC is just one of the issues being faced by Philippines. In fact, girls amid COVID-19 were also heavily affected in the issues of child and maternal mortality, adolescent pregnancy, trafficking in persons, and child marriage. Next. And so one of our, this is why OSAIC and child marriage are one of the main priority legislative agenda of CRN. We even launched a campaign recently, just this week, to end child marriage. So if there are Filipinos here, please do sign our petition so that a bill will finally be passed to prohibit child marriage in the Philippines. And we're doing a lot more than that. And we think that the best way is to put children at the heart of the law every time. Thank you very much. And I will see you all later in the collaborative session.